Welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Televiziya with the most important events of the day. An official welcome ceremony was held on April 23rd for President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham, who is on a state visit to the People's Republic of China.
President of the People's Republic of China Xi Jinping and First Lady Pen Liyuan welcomed President of Azerbaijan İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva. The Chinese delegation was introduced to President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham, while the Azerbaijani delegation was introduced to President of the People's Republic of China Xi Jinping. The national anthems of the two countries were performed. The chief of the Guard of Honor reported to the Azerbaijani president. President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, passed along the guard of honor. The heads of state posed together for photographs.
President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, held an expanded meeting with President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, in Beijing.
President Xi Jinping hailed Azerbaijan's progress and the achievements made under the leadership of President Ilham Aliyev. During the conversation, the presidents positively recalled the joint declaration on strategic partnership between the two countries, which was adopted during last year's meeting in Astana. They noted that the joint statement signed by both heads of state will further elevate the level of comprehensive strategic partnership. The discussion also covered areas of cooperation and mutual support within international organizations, including the United Nations, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and other institutions. The Chinese president highlighted Azerbaijan's chairmanship of the Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia, noting the wide opportunities for collaboration in this regard. The leaders praised the fact that Azerbaijan and China have always supported each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. President Ilham Aliyev reiterated his unwavering support for the One China policy and strongly condemned the elections held in Taiwan. President Xi Jinping commended Azerbaijan for successfully hosting COP29 and representing the interests of the Global South. President Ilham Aliyev thanked him for his remarks and recalled that crucial decisions had been made concerning the global climate agenda during COP29. The head of state highlighted China's development under the wise leadership of Xi Jinping. The sides discussed the outcomes of the latest session of the Intergovernmental Commission and touched upon cooperation in the humanitarian and cultural spheres. They positively assessed the recent growth of over 20% in the bilateral trade turnover. President Xi Jinping expressed satisfaction that Azerbaijan was among the first countries to support the Belt and Road Initiative. Both leaders welcomed the recent increase in the volume of goods transported from the China Tea Group via the Middle Corridor, emphasizing the significant potential for expanded collaboration in this direction. As outlined in the Joint Declaration on Strategic Partnership, President Ilham Aliyev reiterated Azerbaijan's support for China initiatives on global security, global development, and global civilization, as well as community of common destiny for mankind. Xi Jinping extended an invitation to President Ilham Aliyev to attend the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit and related celebratory events in China, which the head of state accepted with pleasure.
A ceremony for the signing of documents between Azerbaijan and China was held in Beijing, with the participation of President Ilham Aliyev and President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping.
First, President Ilham Aliyev and President Xi Jinping signed a joint statement on the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the People's Republic of China. Furthermore, representatives of the relevant departments of the two countries signed an intergovernmental agreement on mutual visa exemption for citizens holding ordinary passports, Memorandum of Understanding on strengthening humanitarian mine action cooperation, Treaty on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters, Agreement on technical and economic cooperation, Protocol on cooperation in the fields of science and technology, Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation between the Ministries of Justice, Protocol on cultural cooperation for 2025 to 2029, Memorandum of Understanding between the Intellectual Property Agency of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the China National Intellectual Property Administration, Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministry of Digital Development and Transport of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the China National Space Administration on cooperation in outer space and the peaceful use of outer space, Memorandum of Understanding between the State Oil Fund of Azerbaijan and the China Investment Corporation, Cooperation Plan on Joint Promotion of the One Belt, One Road initiative between the governments of Azerbaijan and China, Memorandum of Understanding on Green and Low Carbon Development Cooperation, Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the Industrial Field, Agreement on International Multimodal Transportation, Memorandum of Understanding on Deepening Bilateral Cooperation on Impeded Trade, Memorandum of Understanding on Strengthening Investment Cooperation in the Digital Economy, Agreement on News Exchange and Cooperation between the Azerbaijan State News Agency and Xinhua News Agency, Cooperation Agreement between Azerbaycan Television and Radio Broadcasting Closed Train Stock Company and China Media Group, Memorandum of Understanding on Strengthening Cooperation in the Digital Economy, Letter of Intent on Establishing Sister-City relations between the city of Nakhchivan of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic of Azerbaijan and the city of Urumqi of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of the People's Republic of China.
On April 23rd, President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, and First Lady Peng Liyuan hosted an official banquet in Beijing in honor of President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva. President Ilham Aliyev met with Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, Li Chang, in Beijing.
During the meeting, the sides once again emphasized that a joint declaration on strategic partnership between Azerbaijan and China, adopted last July, demonstrated the high level of bilateral relations. They stressed the significance of the signed joint statement on the establishment of a comprehensive strategic partnership, noting that it reflects the spirit and nature of the relationship. The parties pointed out that within a short period, less than a year, bilateral ties have advanced from a strategic partnership to a comprehensive strategic partnership, which reflects the dynamic development of the relations. They underlined that Azerbaijan and China are two friendly countries actively cooperating across all spheres. In addition to political cooperation, the sides hailed the development of economic and trade relations, including a 20% increase in bilateral trade turnover last year, reaching $3.7 billion, and an almost 40% growth in trade turnover in the first 3 months of this year. The head of state noted that China is not only Azerbaijan's #1 import partner, but also its 4th largest trade partner. President Ilham highlighted the successful implementation of the Declaration on Strategic Partnership across all areas and stated that Azerbaijan and China are actively engaged in transport and logistics cooperation, covering many countries across Eurasia. The discussions also addressed collaboration within international organizations, including the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The sides emphasized the long-standing mutual support between Azerbaijan and China for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, with Azerbaijan consistently upholding the One China policy. The two countries' joint efforts in combating terrorism, extremism, and separatism were also highlighted. Both sides emphasized their commitment to a United Nations-based international relations system. President Ilham noted the importance of creating a mechanism to enforce UN Security Council resolutions, recalling that Azerbaijan had long suffered due to the non-implementation. They discussed the recent meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission held in Baku along with the accompanying business forum. They noted that the event resulted in the signing of several cooperation agreements between Azerbaijani and Chinese companies across various sectors. Premier Li Qiang highlighted the growing importance of the Middle Corridor and reported an increase in cargo transportation along the route. They touched upon joint efforts to further boost the corridor's capacity. The meeting explored opportunities for cooperation in renewable energy, the oil and gas sector between Azerbaijani and Chinese companies, as well as the application of Chinese technologies in Azerbaijan. They emphasized significant investment potential in these areas. Following Azerbaijan's decision to unilaterally lift visa requirements for Chinese citizens, the importance of signing the reciprocal visa waiver agreement was underlined. They expressed hope that this step would enhance people-to-people contacts and boost tourism. The meeting discussed agricultural cooperation, including in sericulture, cotton production, and agricultural machinery. China's support for Azerbaijan's economic diversification policy and the country's digital transformation and development concept was also underlined. The meeting further addressed cultural and humanitarian cooperation. Projects implemented by the Hyderali Foundation in China were acknowledged with appreciation.
The head of our state visited the monument to the People's Heroes in Beijing on April 23rd.
A guard of honor was lined up in honor of the head of state at the square where the monument stands. The national anthem of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the People's Republic of China were performed. President Ilham laid a breath at the monument.
President İlham Əliyev met with Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China, Zhao Lijie.
Zhao Lijie commended Azerbaijan's sustainable development, its growing international influence, achievements in the economic sector, and the improvement of the population's well-being under the leadership of President Ilham Aliyev. He described the relations between China and Azerbaijan as a sincere friendship and strategic partnership. The chairman stated that, thanks to the efforts of the two countries' leaders, the relations are currently experiencing the highest period of development in their history. President Ilham Aliyev, in turn, emphasized that today the relations between the two countries have reached their highest stage of development, the level of comprehensive strategic partnership. The president emphasized that Azerbaijan consistently supports the One China policy and condemned the elections held in Taiwan. President Ilham Aliyev stated that Azerbaijan and China are jointly making efforts in the fight against terrorism, extremism, separatism, and radicalism. The meeting addressed cooperation between the two countries within international organizations, placing an emphasis on the importance of the Middle Corridor. They noted that cargo shipments by Chinese companies via the Middle Corridor have recently increased by more than 80%, highlighting the 20% rise in trade turnover. The two sides expressed satisfaction with the ongoing development of the inter-parliamentary cooperation, including strengthening of ties between friendship groups and legislative committees of both countries. Cooperation between the New Azerbaijan Party and the Communist Party of China was also highlighted. They emphasized the importance of sharing experiences in various aspects of governance and touched upon expanding relations in youth, culture, and sports. The potential establishment of a joint Azerbaijan-China university was also discussed. The meeting further addressed cooperation in the field of. They noted that China's BYD company has been selected as a strategic partner for the export of electric vehicles to Azerbaijan, as well as for the local production of several models of electric buses.
On April 23rd, First Lady of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, her daughter Leyla Aliyeva, and other family members visited the Great Hall of the People in Beijing.
The Great Hall of the People, located at the western edge of Tiananmen Square in the heart of Beijing, serves as the venue for China's most important state events and ceremonies. These include congresses of the Communist Party of China, annual sessions of the National People's Congress, and official welcoming ceremonies for foreign heads of state. Constructed to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, the Great Hall of the People was inaugurated in 1959. Designed as a symbol of national unity, it consists of 3 sections. The complex houses the Grand Auditorium, Main Auditorium, Congress Hall, State Banquet Hall, official reception rooms, and the administrative building of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress. There are also halls named after each region of China within the Great Hall of the People. The hall is open to public on select days of the month when no state events are scheduled.
That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.